you would have eaten these imitation crab sticks before, but there are some surprising things about them you likely didn't know of. For example, what is it really made of, and why does it not look like a crab, and why is it related to this? Watch on so you have something smart to say during your next steamboat gathering. So, firstly, let's address the burning question. Why the heck is there such a food, and why is it fake? In Singapore, they are usually marketed as flavored crab sticks or crab flavored sticks. Some brands just call it crab sticks. So, how did this food came about? Unlike other processed food, this is a relatively new food as it was invented in the 1970s. You see, back then, people in Japan wanted to eat the expensive Alaskan king crab, but they could not afford it. So they tried to find ways to imitate the taste. They eventually found it, although it's rumored that it was invented by mistake. A fish paste producer was trying to invent an imitation for jellyfish, but when he used white fish as a paste, he realized it tastes more like a crab instead. Since then, it has been seen as an affordable alternative to crabs, and when it started to go global in the 80s, people started to use it for many other purposes. And yes, this is why it's called a crab stick, since the goal is to make it taste like crab, although it's not crab. Tastes like crab? Yeah. Eh? But this begs the question, why does it not look like a crab then? Well, actually it does. You see, it's shaded this way to look like the leg of a crab, and of course the Japanese has to use the biggest crab. The Japanese giant spider crab is the largest crab in the world, and yes, if you have realized, the crab sticks look very much like this part of their legs. But the real Japanese giant spider crab is, of course, much larger, and it can be taller than a human. So, what is the crab stick really made of if it's not crab? Well, be surprised, because it's something you won't have expected. If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. One misconception that some of us have is that crab sticks are made entirely of flour or starch. In fact, this misconception even caused some vegan to eat it. Since it's supposed to be mock crab stick, that's untrue. The main ingredient in the crab stick is actually fish. Yes, fish. Or to be more specific, white fish, which are cheaper fish. Crab sticks are mainly made of white fish paste and starch and processed into what we see in the supermarket. Usually, the white fish used is Alaska pork, but there are many other ingredients. The finished product is white and the red color you see is mere coloring. And I guess by now, you should know why it's unhealthy. Firstly, it's a processed food, and unless you have been sleeping in the last few years, you'll know that processed food are very unhealthy. And secondly, it's filled with lots of anti-calories, so you can actually, if you want to, call it a junk food. In other words, if you can, avoid it as much as you can. However, it's hard to avoid because let's face it, it's the first thing you grab to cook during steamboat because it cooks fast. Let it cook, let it cook, let it cook, say Gucci, Prada, Cartier, toilet, let it cook. But you're actually wrong because you technically don't need to cook it. Just like you, I've always thought that it was uncooked and I need to cook it. However, that's not true. In order for it to be processed into a crab stick, it has to be cooked during the processing stage. So all the crab sticks you see, whether frozen or chilled, are already cooked. When we put it into our steamboat, it's just to heat it and not to cook it, kind of like hot dogs. In fact, if you realize, everything about crab stick is similar to hot dog. Crab stick is pre-cooked and hot dog is pre-cooked. Crab stick has no crab and hot dog has no dog. Crab stick is highly processed and hot dog is highly processed. Crab stick is shaped like a part of a crab and hot dog is shaped like what? Now that you know how unhealthy crab sticks are, do you know that fruit juice are also unhealthy? Yes, it's true. Watch this to the end and you will understand. Also, please follow me on Instagram as I've got shop exclusive videos there, link in description. And thank you for spending almost 4 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.